No, mine sucks. I got.
Okay, wait a minute. Watch that word. Anyway, hey, it's Monday morning.
Hey, we're live.
We are live. It's Boogie with the Bull Morning Caffeine. Dave Glover and my co-host Randy, genealogist, stepping stones, something else I'm sure I left out.
Roads. The
Road to Dixie is here with us. We'll be talking about that later this morning. Matter of fact, I understand we have a beautiful video release that is going to debut on Boogie with the Bull Morning Caffeine this morning that will tell you everything you need to know about why you should be watching that broadcast.
There you go.
And enjoying it and learning a lot. Matter of fact, you should watch Stepping Stones on the Road to Dixie.
Like emergency broadcast together.
The best 19 hours of continuous broadcast anywhere on social media. Hey, what is new and exciting? What did you do over the weekend?
I didn't do anything. I just, trying to get enough content together for hopefully tonight's broadcast of Stepping Stones Through History. We're talking about the Black Hawks War. So we'll be doing that. So I've got enough together. I got some video. Finally figured out how to use it with StreamYard so it actually sounds decent. It did cost more money. So I'll have to find some way to recoup that, but we'll worry about that later. But yeah, just, had a little bit of snow last night. Hopefully that's our Indian snow. What we call it here.
Snow.
Yeah, I'm not sure what other states call it, but for some reason, the Pennsylvania, the last snowfall of the year, they refer to as the Indian snow. I have no idea why, but hopefully that's what we had last night.
Is that like Indian corn, which is that you hang on your door during Halloween to scare kids away?
Is that what that's for? I always thought it's for decoration.
No, it is. It is. I don't know if you can eat it. You probably can. I don't. But
yes, I guess pigs eat it. Why can't we? Right?
I have to ask others. I have to ask others as they join.
And here's one for you guys to come over. I used to work for a company here in Lancaster. They made fried chicken. One of the biggest companies in the nation for making fried chicken. And they had a USDA inspector, and she'd always be very conscious of the raw chicken and how it's being prepared and processed, and making sure all the rules are being followed. And one of the rules they had was after the chicken is slaughtered, it's put into this very large, like a dumpster on wheels, and you bring it up to the beginning of the process, which is to steam it. And if it sits in this container too long, it's considered to be spoiled. So the USDA inspector, she's there with her timer, and if she comes back after so many minutes, and if it sat there too long, she has this dye that she puts over all the chicken, indicating that it can't be used for human consumption. And I asked the lady, I said, what happens to all that chicken? I mean, it's a huge amount of chicken, hundreds of pounds of chicken. And she showed me where they take it to another part of the facility where there's a open bed tractor trailers where the chicken is dumped into. And this pig farmer comes over and hooks up his tractor and hauls away all this raw chicken to feed to his pigs. So here's the question I always had. And so the chicken, as it was deemed spoiled for them to fry for human consumption. We're going to give this spoiled chicken to pigs to eat, which will eventually be slaughtered for humans to eat. So are we not eating spoiled chicken through the process of eating the pig?
I would guess that we probably are.
Yes, I thought, that makes no sense. So why wouldn't we get sick eating the pig after eating the well. Anyways, it was a job. It paid well, but it certainly made me think twice about eating fried chicken. Just seeing how it was processed, but
we're eating the fried chicken from your place.
yeah. So yeah. Anyways, so I guess Trump has some pretty good news. The security court has agreed to look at the his case concerning the January 6th bullshit, and by doing that, they actually are delaying the time frame, so that gives him more time to do what he has to do to fight this whole damn thing. But yeah,
I was going to say the memes all over Facebook this weekend show that Liz Cheney may actually be running scared over the fact that the whole select committee is going to be looked at.
Yeah, I mean, and it's good news for the those who are in jail right now, and those who are waiting to have their trials be seen or heard, because now this new rule, and it gives them an opportunity to hopefully reverse the charges. They're being charged with obstruction, okay? Obstruction of Congress. So they delayed Congress from doing their due duty, in the White House because of the interruption.
How did we defend? How did we keep them from doing their duty?
Well, they had to evacuate
when we formed it. Right, but I mean, my whole thing is that honestly, the way I feel about this is that the entire House Select Committee on January 6th should be arrested, and they should be held somewhere equally to where the January 6th people are being held in Washington, D.C. or whatever non-luxurious places they're being held around the United States. And they should be held for however long it's been that those people have been in jail before their hearings happen. And, because this is just never going to end. Like I said, all the memes I saw showed Liz Cheney looking nervous, like they're going to come get her. They're going to arrest her. I don't know what they're going to do once they hold her,
Why would Liz Cheney be arrested?
She was a member of the House Select Committee. And evidently they destroyed evidence.
Oh.
They destroyed evidence that proved, that they claim proved Trump was a part of the insurrection, part of the whole January 6th setup. They probably know who did it. They probably did, because every one of them on the committee, except for maybe the Republicans that were on it, know who set it up, know who was involved in it, know that Trump wasn't involved in it. So, it's just one of those things that it should. Those people should be home with their families, not living their lives, not rotting in jail for something that the Democrats decided they would just lock them away as long as they can for. But anyway, go ahead.
So they're being charged with obstruction. Okay. Oh my God, we delayed Congress's meeting for 20, 30 minutes. What about the Democrat dude that pulled the fire alarm, which evacuated the building? Did he ever get charged?
I don't know. How come Mike Pence didn't get charged for violating the rules of the Senate as Senate president and not doing the election certification the way it was supposed to be done? I keep saying this and no one's given me the answer, but the way it's supposed to be done is in alphabetical order from A to Z. He calls all the states. The senator from that state, or one senator from that state, acknowledges, I'm Ted Cruz, I'm the senator from Texas, I have the certified results from the state of Texas, and I wish to file a protest. And then the question is supposed to be Pence looking over at the clerk going, did he file the paperwork before this meeting, and is the paperwork correct? And if the clerk says yes, it's supposed to be noted, and then he continues on A to Z alphabetical order, calling all of them. The ones that didn't have any protest on their results, those are considered certified, so they just sit on the side. The ones where a senator brought up a protest, those are supposed to be heard by the Senate, and all of them get heard, and the meeting isn't over and the election isn't certified until all of those states have had their protest and the Senate voted whether to accept them or not. So, I mean, to me, this is all on Mike Pence. Other than maybe there was an event planned at the Senate, at the House, but I don't believe it was to go as crazy as it did. Maybe it was supposed to go as crazy as it did, but you know what? I leave the blame for all of this on Mike Pence. Aside from what might have been planned to go on at the House that day, if we can find the guilty people, and it looks more and more and more like the Capitol Police were involved in setting it up, the FBI was involved in setting it up, other three-letter agencies of the DOJ Incorporated were involved. So, it's time to bring those people in and give them a chance to incriminate themselves once and for all, and do it. Because all that's going to happen, the Democrats ran the House and they thought they were going to get away with this, and now the Republicans run the House and they're not going to let the Democrats get away with this. And this is just how the game is played. And if the Democrats take back the House in 2024,
God help us,
they're just going to rehash this all again, because obviously there isn't enough important stuff before the House and Senate of the United States of America that they have time to play with all this BS stuff.
I just don't understand. I get my microphone there. I just don't understand why, and it boils down to the Democrats are in control right now of the judicial system and all the three-letter alphabet organizations that our government has. And right now they're changing the whole aspect of our country. I mean, look at what they're hiring to work in the White House: the transgenders, the gays, the thieves who steal his purses and still. Thankfully, they finally fired him. But our government is hiring all these individuals. They're using their money to bribe people to testify against those on the right. They're able to change wording of what's positive, make it negative. I mean, I'm looking here on my split screen here for things to talk about, and it's like, these songs are racist. These are songs I grew up with. I enjoyed them. I'd listen to the music and might dance to them with a girlfriend or two. But it never occurred to me, oh my God, it's racist.
They're not. It's just
but they're in control, and they're able to change narrative on our whole lifestyle. Unfortunately, those on the right now are screwed. Look at the most recent in New York, where they found the bodies that are cut up. They found 4 individuals who they know for sure cut the bodies up. They don't know if they actually killed them, but they know that these 4 people were responsible for cutting out the bodies and spreading the body parts across New York's park. They got arrested, and a couple hours later, they're out the door.
Yeah,
they weren't. What is our country is totally reversing all that we grew up with, knowing what is right and what is wrong. And, at least detain them for 48 hours while you do your due diligence to see if they actually killed them first and then cut up the body parts. No, they released them. Oh, they're wearing ankle bracelets like they can't be cut off and gotten rid of. It's like, but then you have a cop who overdoes his, who's having a bad day. He's chasing down this bad guy. He's the guy who's giving him a hard time, and maybe the cop, loses control for a minute, and the cop's being arrested. He's thrown in jail, and he's facing charges. But the bad guy who actually is doing, walking up behind these folks with a gun and shooting them in the head and walks away. You got him dead to rights on the video, but they're not being charged.
Yep.
Thought just occurred to me. All these countries are releasing their people from prison and crazy houses to allow them to cross the border into our country. Are we becoming a nation of reversed ethics? So we're allowing all these bad guys to come in, the cartel. We're allowing them bringing all these women and children to be used for sex slavery, and we're allowing the people in our Democrat-controlled cities to do all this crime and not get charged. But the good guy that does something wrong is thrown into prison. This is the world we're living in right now, folks. And unless Trump somehow manages to survive to get to the election and actually wins the election and gets into the White House, this country is going to get worse because now they got another 4 years to continue doing what they're doing now.
I hear people when they say that they don't believe Trump is going to win, and I listen to Democrats when they say that Trump isn't going to win. But then I look at him and I say, do you honestly think that America is going to stand by and vote in Joe Biden? Do you honestly think that America is going to stand by?
I don't think it's going to be Biden.
And even if it is Biden, it's not going to be Kamala Harris.
No,
as his vice president.
It's going to be Governor Newsom.
It's going to be someone like Gavin Newsom or and who will actually do what he was told to do, use the 25th Amendment. Then the only thing that will happen is that the question becomes whether or not the cabinet secretaries will in fact vote Biden out. My thing is that I think that the cabinet secretaries are so scared that if a vice president tried to pull, or if Harris tried to pull the 25th Amendment, forcing them into a vote, that they wouldn't vote him out because they just don't want to be the ones who voted out Joe Biden. And why I don't understand. I mean, I would personally tell you right now that if Pete Buttigieg thinks that Secretary of Transportation is going to get him into the White House, that ship has long sailed. I don't see Bernie Sanders ever leaving the Senate because of whatever arrangements he received when Hillary Clinton got him to step down as a candidate so that she could run. And I don't believe that Bernie Sanders, if he got the Democrat nomination, could beat Trump, but at least it would be a bunch of interesting debates because they both can talk about what's going on. They both can put a sentence together. But like I said, I don't think Sanders will ever give up whatever he got from the Democrats to run for president. Plus, he's old too. So I mean, he's not.
I don't see Bernie Sanders run for president. I hate to say it, but I think Newsom is going to come in. He's going to step in, and he's going to take somehow. Okay, I watched some of the clips from the State of the Nation speech
And first off,
I watched the whole thing. It was
God bless you. But they first off, he was late. So how in the hell can you be late? You knew the damn thing was supposed to start at 9:00. What were you doing to cause things to make you late? And I love some of the people saying, "Well, he was getting his diaper changed, or they were giving him some more shots in the arm to soup him up to get him through." But he gets there, and he's shaking hands and whatever, going up to the podium to do a speech, and he's a mess. And I don't know, folks. Right now, we have we're in March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. 8 more months to go. Sheesh. Well, I just got groceries the other day, and we spent $200. Okay, and from a local grocery store, Stauffer's. They start off being like a farmer's market, and because of their quality of their food and price and so forth, they got 15 different locations now. But spent $200. I got 4 bags of groceries. Right, 4 brown bags of groceries. And what did I get? I got 2 gallons of milk, 2 gallons of iced tea. I got cereal, bread, a couple of things for meals, and that's it. That's food for like 2 or 3 days.
Yep.
I mean, and we're on a fixed income here, folks, and it's like, damn, we used to be able to go to our cupboard and get ourselves a snack like potato chips or pretzels or corn chips or cookies or some goodies, and our cupboards are bare. We can't keep affording to live this in this economy. Something's got to give.
Yep. It does. It does.
Thankfully, we were buying groceries. So I don't drive anymore, so our food is always delivered, and we were using the service to deliver our food, and it was costing us $50 just to have the service deliver the food. Thankfully, my daughter said, "Dad, Stauffer's delivers. They don't charge. They don't ask you for a tip." And Stauffer's, thank God for them. What the price of the food is in the store, that's what it is online, as opposed to the other stores where they up the price of the food that's online. They deliver it for free. They don't ask you to tip the driver. So thank God for them. So I'm actually saving $50, every 2 weeks on groceries. But folks, I'm one of those guys who don't think Trump's going to make it. I hate to say it, but I don't think he's going to live to get to the election. That's my gut feeling. Because if he makes it to the White House, he is in a position to throw all those people in jail, or at least try to. And the people on the left can't allow that to happen.
But I mean, I think there's enough people that he's going to be able to go after the Republicans if they keep the House and take back the Senate, and they give him a Republican super Congress. I think they're not going to be able to fix everything overnight, but I think they will be able to fix some things, and I think they will be able to fix some things once and for all. I will never say that I think there should be price control on a gallon of gas, but you have to look at the fact that, say, a gallon of gas costs you 50 cents to make. You should be able to sell it for cost plus 100%. So you should be able to sell it for $1.50. But a gallon
of milk
costs close to $5. Okay.
Yep.
Our farmers here in Lancaster County are being forced to dump their milk because their dairy cows are producing
Too much.
Too much.
Yeah.
And if they were allowed to process the milk to get it to the shelves in the grocery store, the price of milk would drop.
We never heard growing up that a dairy farmer, was dumping milk. And if we had so much good milk that they were afraid that it was going to bring the price of milk down in the United States, I'm sure we could sell it on the milk market around the world. Same thing with beef. I'm sure they could do that. Same thing with gas. Trump brought gas prices down, kept them where they should be. When we moved to Florida 2 years ago, it was $2.93 a gallon at BJ's, which wasn't a bad price. It was about 30 cents less than everybody else, and people were happy. And we've gone almost to $5. Now I think we're back at $2.99, and it's just ridiculous because to me, again, it's oil is plentiful, which means they can make as much gas as they think they're going to sell, or control what they sell, but control what they make and what they release. But it's just, and to me, we're allowing an industry to control life in America. I mean, it's
we're allowing those who are billionaires who already got more money than they will ever spend in their lifetime to control how the 350 million people who are citizens of our nation lives. They want more money. That's all it boils down to. And if they have to, destroy the milk, order our farmers to plow over their crops because they're producing too much, which they're doing. They are plowing over their crops. They're destroying. I mean, look at just this past 2 years, the number of food manufacturing plants that have been, they suffered a fire and burnt to the ground. Yeah. How'd that ever happen? I don't know.
Or you get backstabbed by Tyson, who for many years, like you just said, was closing plants in areas where they said they just couldn't afford to operate these plants anymore. I don't know if their prices were going up as they were doing this, but if you read recently, they're in cahoots with this. It starts with a P. I don't remember the name of the company, but I'll dig it up if people really want to know. I read recently that Tyson and this company are going to go into production on food grade insects.
Yeah.
What?
I tell you what.
What the hell? What the hell is this? There's no reason to put insects in most of the food that we eat. I mean, I did see that Shark Tank where the guy makes flour out of crickets, but they're raised properly.
I know. I've seen the video.
It's kind of gross to think of, but they're raised properly, and they're actually healthy, I guess, to do it, and it actually costs less than flour made the way the former Aunt Jemima Milling Company made it, and maybe given in time, there, some things you have to adapt and do however they're going to do it. I mean, I can't imagine going into a restaurant and eating a steak that was made on a 3D printer. I'm sorry, I just can't. I just
No,
can't
I mean,
stomach. I just can't stomach the idea.
You know, the whole idea is they're trying to get rid of the livestock. That's it. So for some reason, those on the left are saying those cows are farting and they're polluting the air. You know, those cows have been farting for multiple thousands of years, okay? And we seem to be living pretty good. You know, the whole idea is to get rid of the livestock, you know, the chickens, get rid of the chickens, get rid of the cows, get rid of the beef, you know, get rid of the pigs, and we're going to be eating insects, okay?
I bet if they captured the amount of gas released by everyone in the House and everyone in the Senate side of the building, captured that amount of gas, it would exceed what is coming out of cows.
Yeah, I would just want, if there is someone possible to show me that these elite who are pushing this whole idea of eating bugs, prove to me that they themselves are eating 3 meals a day of all bugs. You cannot tell me that those multi-millionaires and billionaires are not eating steak. Okay,
of course they are.
Show me where their menu consists of nothing but bugs and plants. And if they're eating it themselves and continue themselves, then okay, fine, I might consider it. But there's no way in hell they're eating the bugs. They want us to eat the bugs.
The funny thing that I've always said, and no one ever pays it any attention and responds back to me, but don't you think that once the elite have eliminated all of the non-elites, the next thing they're going to do is battle all of the other elites because they're using resources and everything that only one elite should be able to use. And what happens when that one elite has managed to kill everybody?
Yeah, it's almost like we're beginning to live the life of some of these sci-fi movies that are produced, like was it Game of War or Game of Thrones, whatever.
Game of Thrones.
Or like the other one where
Mad Max, Beyond Thunderdome.
It's almost like we're headed in that direction. And unfortunately, I'm going to be the guy who's going to be, you know, as the camera, you know, pans over the desert and the dry and the brush that's, you know, rubbing across the ground. You know, that skeleton with the head popping up on the ground, that's me. That'll be me because I won't make it that lifestyle. But, you know.
I thought you were going to be cremated.
Oh, God, no. Well, you know.
I can't stomach it either. I mean, I heard you when we were talking about it the other day. I can't. I guess I've said I don't want to die only because I don't know what to expect on the other side. And I've had one of those episodes where I don't know if I was dead or whatever, but I remember going up this tube with a big light at the end and hearing God say, "David, my son, it's not time." And the next thing I know, they won't. I was in the hospital. I hemorrhaged, and I got out of bed to try to get a nurse, which I shouldn't have done. And I passed out. And like I said, you know,
I did that.
I remember going up this dark tunnel toward the light. And just as I got near the light, I heard the voice of God say, "David, my son, it's not time." Boom. And I'm back here. And
because did you see about Haiti?
No. What did I miss?
So the governor of Haiti has left the country for his life. Okay, he's gone.
Okay.
And the new guy that's in charge is a chief. He's a chief of this cannibalistic tribe, and he's in control of Haiti now. And they show him cooking these people, and I won't share that video. But
no,
the video where they're cooking this person or persons, and here he is pulling the meat off of this body, and he's eating it while being interviewed by the newscasters.
No.
And it's like, this guy is now in control of Haiti.
No. And I mean that fear I have of that's what we will end up doing to ourselves once the elites have taken away every source of food, or it's just not here. And I hope, if there is a God and God is watching us, that when and if it ever gets to that point, that God just says enough is enough and flips the switch. I mean, I'm convinced. Michael Anthony, I think, said it best on a broadcast at some point. I don't remember that there have been many inceptions of Earth, or someone said it on a broadcast. It might not have been Michael, but there have been many inceptions where God has basically just flipped the switch and blown us all up, or did something that is even in the Bible that indicates that that's what he did. I mean, he flooded the world 40 days and 40 nights, I guess, and saved the Jews, his chosen people, told Noah to build an ark and take 2 of everything and just be ready to sail for 40 days and 40 nights. And when it stops raining and the water has drained, be happy. I washed the earth and start again. Now there are people that saying that never happened. I read something yesterday that I have never read before, but it was a writer describing how painful it was for Christ to die.
Yeah.
I mean, they put nails in his hands that cut tendons that stopped, that I guess, flowed so much pain to his body that he couldn't move. He had to balance on one leg or on one side to try to breathe. He was there for 3 hours. I can't imagine how anyone who can be as loving as he was, that he could come back down here and say, okay, I forgive you, people. I forgive the Jews because you were Roman slaves at the time, and you couldn't do anything to stop it. But we are just so screwed up these days that I don't know who to believe and who not to believe. Other than on Saturdays, a rare Saturday morning boogie with Bull, people, you got to go to my profile and watch it. We had 64 people watching live. It's now up to like 132. Bill Muckler gave the Republican response to the Joe Biden State of the Union address. You really got to watch it. But I mean, this is just crazy. I mean, I don't understand anymore why we are still going through all of this. Why the American people have just not stood up and said, hey, you can do whatever you want to do to Trump to try to keep him from being able to run, but we're going to vote him in anyway. It's just crazy. I mean, what amazes me is they will have, by the time we get to November, brought in like a total of 40 million illegal immigrants who are somehow going to be given the right to vote. And that Merrick Garland, the Attorney General, is now trying to push something through that will block the voter ID requirement.
Yeah.
To me, that means the minute those words came out of his mouth as Attorney General, he should have been just removed. I don't care how, but he should have been removed as Attorney General. But then again, like I've said, I'm sorry I cut you off, but I always do, but I apologize. It doesn't matter to me if you removed him. Today's Monday. If they impeached him, removed him as Attorney General, the one under him is probably just as corrupt as Garland was. And the one under him,
they're all corrupt.
Right. The one under him, all the way down to the janitor, who unfortunately isn't even involved in running the Department of Justice.
Who knows? He might be.
My grandfather was the head maintenance engineer at the courthouse in Marlborough, Massachusetts. And I remember, I guess, I don't remember if it was jury, the court police went on strike or something, or whether there just weren't enough. A judge that he knew very well made him the head court officer as well for a while. So, it wouldn't amaze me if the janitors at the Justice Department are involved in running it. They're probably most certainly involved in removing a lot of stuff that they don't want America to ever see. But, I guess my point is, we would have to go so far down within the Department of Justice itself, and then go so far down within every branch of the Department of Justice to clean it out, that even ending it as it is, firing everybody and then trying to bring in fresh people, as I've said before, like if we managed to actually shut down the House and the Senate and said you can only serve if you've never served before, I've said that it would only be a matter of time before those people become corrupted, because the nature of the beast is so far corrupted that I don't think there's any way to fix it.
There isn't. I agree with you that at this point, there's no way to fix the amount of corruption that's in our government. I mean, even if Trump gets elected, okay, he is going to need more than 4 years to fix and undo all that the Democrats have done since they've taken office. It's like it was before.
I guess I think he's going to be so busy. Sorry that I interrupted you again. I will try not to, but he's going to be so busy with this, the largest deportation in the history of America, that I honestly don't think he will have anything else to do, or time to do anything else, if that's what he is focused on. Because I can't imagine that Secretary of DHS, Mayorkas, who I thought was impeached and was going to be removed, I'm starting to believe that if Mayorkas has the records and could track down all of these people, that most of them have probably been destroyed by now and we'll never find them.
Say it again.
That Mayorkas must have all of these records of all of these illegals that came in here, or at least the ones that they have arrested for coming in illegally, and the ones that they're tracking. But I would imagine by now he's probably destroying them as fast as he can. And I mean,
when you figure how many have already,
that I should probably have never said before. Maybe we do have to have a civil war, and someone has to win, and hopefully it's our side, and we unite and rebuild this country. Because if we don't, maybe there's no other way to do it. Or aside from breaking in half and putting a fence down the center of the country and saying we're separate countries. And I don't think if we did that, you and your fellow citizens that move into the South where you believe you may belong, what are you going to do any different to stop the flow? I mean, you can build that wall, but I'm convinced they've got tunnels underground that will never bring them up above ground.
Even if we had a civil war, okay, let's just say you have lots of sort of like 32 or 36 states who the majority of people want their state to split from the federal government. What is keeping those governors from listening to their people and saying, no, we want to split? Well, the thought of a war. 36 states, that doesn't leave a whole lot for the federal government to have to fight with. But I'm wondering, I might just today look at these states who are talking about seceding and seeing if there are any military bases in those states, if there are any missile silos in those states, because if they are, well, hell, the governor of that state now has control of the missile silos and the bases, the military personnel. Sure, there'll probably be some who would stay with the federal government, but I can't begin to imagine any soldier wanting to take orders from those guys in the White House who has done nothing but try to destroy our nation. I know that they swore an oath. But you know what? That oath, I also know that, the soldier is allowed to challenge what they consider to be an illegal order.
Okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay, but you see in all the movies where the two guys are in the silos, because it's not just one guy in there turns the key and starts pushing the buttons when the order comes in. And it's one guy rips open the envelope and punches in whatever they need to do to activate the silo, and the other guy turns the key and it's his job to push the buttons. And you see the one guy who ripped open the envelope and started reading the orders and turned his key, holding a gun at the back of the head of the guy who is supposed to push the buttons. And supposedly both people are needed to do it, because the one who turned the key and activated the system apparently may not be actually able to sit down there and type in the codes and make it do it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure now what to do is with the what it takes to launch the missiles. If it's all electronic now, or it's actual key where an order comes down and they break open the envelope and it says these are your launch codes, and you type them in, and then you have to have two guys' keys, turn the keys to launch the missiles. I don't know what it takes nowadays to launch those missiles. Or you could be that teenager kid like that movie where he's playing chess with the computer.
War games.
War games. Yeah.
Right. And the professor who built that system at the end, I remember at the end, the Whopper asks him, "Do you want to play a game?" And the professor, I think, says to him, or the creator of it says to him, "You understand there is no winner." And in theory, that basically short-circuited the Whopper, because the Whopper was created as a war games computer, and it plays and plays and plays and plays with all of the other countries every day. But it supposedly understands that there is no, it's never going to be told to do its job.
Oh my,
But I also think that nuclear war is going to be the end of the planet anyway, because and I don't believe that it's going to be someone like the United States or China or Russia or Israel or, well, not intentionally Israel, but I don't think it's going to be the United States, China, or Russia who's going to be the one that fires it. I think it's going to be someone like Iran who figures Doesn't matter. It's going to be the end of the world anyway. So they're going to fire a bomb on Israel. Israel is going to fire something up or activate the dome to keep the bomb from hitting the ground and taking out Israel. That bomb's going to explode anyway. That's going to release so much radiation, or Iran's going to miss, and it's going to land on North Korea. And all of North Korea's allies are going to get together and fire something on Iran. And Iran's going to do everything they can to blow it out of the sky. Doesn't really matter. All that nuclear whatever is going to be in the atmosphere, and we're all basically going to die once it gets to wherever, it'll flow over Europe and take out Europe, and then it'll float over here and kill us all too. But I don't know.
Yeah, it's I often thought about what it would take. People keep don't get me wrong, folks. I believe there's a God, but I have to, and I have to question, what's it going to take for him to return? I know, for those who are smart enough and they read the Bible and they have to go through, all the various chapters where it prophesizes, the 7 years, blah blah blah, and and no one really knows the day, the time. But what in God's name is going to take for him to return to this world and make things right again? We're already killing babies by the millions. We have already taken and become gods by being able to create. You want a boy? Okay, we'll do this, and that, and now your baby's gonna be a boy. Or we have the ability now to take a man, make it a woman make it a man. We have the ability to do all kinds of stuff that back in the 40s and 50s we were only things in comic books. So we were already, in a sense, have made God, and we have become gods. We can create life, and so what's it going to take? What's going to be enough to piss him off to where he says, you know what, damn it, enough's enough. I'm coming back and I'm wiping this out.
I don't think he's going to come back. I've always said that, God comes to work every morning and he sits down. He's got one of this is a red, white, and blue pumpkin, but he has a Staples Easy button, or something this big. And it just sits on his desk. And he sits there with his hand over it while he's drinking coffee in his right hand, because God's left-handed. So he's sitting here drinking coffee, and he's watching on all the God monitors. He's watching Randy Rhoads wasting time with Dave Glovin, just having fun, doing a broadcast at 10:55 on Monday morning. And he just watches. And he just waits for the right minute. Because he'll know. And at the right minute, it's just going to go, boom. He's going to hit the button and take out the world. And what fears me even more than that is what happens if, when we all get up to heaven, God says, I didn't mean to pull the button. I just happened to fall asleep and my hand landed. And what are you going to do? You're going to tell God that was wrong? I mean, are we going to try God for ending the world that he created? But I do believe that
hang on a second.
I'm starting to believe that I don't believe that God or Jesus is going to come here. I think they're just going to push the button and implode it, and out of ashes to ashes, dust to dust. What was here in the beginning was here in the end, and then it will begin. Like the phoenix, ashes will rise. Something will rise out of the ashes, and
there's a branch of my family's relatives, and I forget who they are, and maybe I'll spend some time trying to figure it out. I think they live in Maryland, but they gave my mom some pictures. I mentioned this before. Some pictures of what they think heaven and God is like, and it's a spaceship. And the
mothership.
rapture is the spaceships coming to Earth and taking people up into the spaceships and taking them off to
The
whatever
mothership taking us home.
right. And I need to. You know what? Today I'm gonna figure them out, and because they have, I didn't get the pictures when my mom died. I had no idea who got them, but it'd be interesting to see if they were destroyed or if my brother got them. But they believe that aliens in spaceships are going to come to Earth and take those of us who believe back with them. But I gotta get going. But I want to show you something.
Okay, that's right. I told you could show it near the end before you left.
Correct.
So, yeah.
And a friend of mine just popped this out to me, and I didn't ask him. So the fact that he can do this, I'm going to hit him up for more stuff. But I have a broadcast. It's called On the Road to Dixie. It's all about the South. It is a sponsored broadcast. There's a person who is paying me who wants to stay in the dark. But I'm going to be having my show coming up this Sunday. Is about this group of women who, in this town of Georgia, LaGrange, Georgia, I believe it is, stood up to the Union soldiers. So there were 1,500 men in their town who all got called up to go into war and left all the women by themselves, totally by themselves. But before they left, the men trained them the best they could with rifles and marching and military standards, okay, in case the Union soldiers would show up. Well, guess what? The Union soldiers did show up at this town, and the woman faced them off. And thankfully, the commander of this platoon, or you want to call it, of Union soldiers, had enough decency to stand his troops down, and they didn't rape and pillage and burn the town. They came to a decision to coexist. But this gentleman here has created this video to advertise the upcoming broadcast. So I'm going to hopefully share it with you here. Go here, share screen. Ba-da-ba-da. The entire screen, but do here to see if it works. You have to let it in. Okay. That's it. Pretty cool, I think. You're muted.
We need some sound with it.
You didn't hear the sound?
I didn't hear any sound.
What? I heard the sound on my end. You heard no sound.
I didn't hear any sound.
Well, keep yourself off mute. Maybe that's what happened. I'll just try it again.
Okay.
Oh, I know what. Okay, I know why. Hold on a second. Here we go.
We'll run it one more time. You have to send it to me again. We're waiting. Randy Rose, Academy Award. Randy Rhodes Oscar-winning entry for best lead-in to a broadcast at the Oscars this last Sunday.
Did you see that?
I didn't see it. It didn't come back to me. I'm waiting for it to come back to me so that I can bring it on again.
But anyways, I'll play the phones. But
Randy will play it, and so be there. What time? 7:00 tonight.
7:00 p.m. Sunday evening.
Sunday, 7 p.m. Sunday evening.
And there's actually a descendant.
Do you have co-hosts with you?
Well, I'm trying to get that. There's a descendant of the actual women who participated in that. So I reached out to her, and I'm hoping that she responds to me. Okay. Otherwise, it's just going to be little old me and some video that I'll be sharing,
Okay.
hopefully with success, about Nancy Hart.
So now, which one? This is On the Road to Dixie, or is this Stepping
correct.
Stones?
On the Road to Dixie. That's
Okay.
On the Road to Dixie.
Okay.
And tonight, if everything goes well, Stepping Stones Through History at 7 p.m. with Jen Woodruff. We're going to be talking about the Black Hawk War. It's about a tribe of Indians who gave over a large piece of land to the white guys and decided they wanted the land back. And the white guys said, "No, we're not giving it back to you. If you want it, you got to fight for it." And they did. And unfortunately, the natives didn't win the war. They got their asses kicked. But so it's still a part of the history of our nation. Actually, what happened was back in the day, the white man and the government could buy the land from the natives. And the shame of it is that they weren't given money, right, or gold. They were given trinkets and pieces of material and
$24 worth of beads for Manhattan.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, you got 1,000 acres of land here. How about if I give you this here? And that's what happened. So they made this trade, and it turned out it was illegal for the white guys to buy this land from the Indians. So they wanted it back. And the people who settled there and built their homes and stuff, they said, "No, we're not going to give it back to you." And they went to war.
We should get an Indian tribe to adopt Boogie with the Bull and build us a studio on their reservation.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have to talk to Stephen Toller about that one.
He's not doing broadcasts, from what I understand.
No, he left Facebook. I'm not sure what happened there, but he talked to me was that he was taking his family and leaving Pennsylvania and going to his bunker because he's expecting shit to happen.
Right.
The same with the people in the South. They're expecting shit to happen soon. They're preparing. And hopefully they don't forget about me.
I don't understand where Mexico is in all of this, aside from the fact that the cartels may be running Mexico.
Oh, yeah.
And the president just takes orders, or the Mexican government just takes orders. But if Trump was in the White House, if Trump had won in 2020, it was finishing up his last term, that wall would be done. The border would have the proper equipment and officers. But anyway, we can discuss that on Wednesdays. I don't want to make you late. You are invited to be a part of Tuesday night, 7 p.m., Tuesday Night Live. Jen Woodruff will not be with us. She will be on special assignment. It is her youngest daughter's birthday.
Oh, there you go.
I know that Ichabod Palmer is planning on being there. I believe that Nicky Young is going to make his inaugural address. His inaugural appearance. So
I got to give him my parking space.
No, no. Nicky got his own parking space.
Oh, okay, good. Because your studio is so damn far to walk from the parking lot.
It is.
It's a long distance.
Anyways, I have the longest commute to work. It's about 6 feet from my bed to my desk. Anyway, you want the
I gotta go.
You want the honors, or do I get them?
Yeah, you get them. I hurt my back last time I parachuted out, so I can't. So parachuting for me right now is out right now.
We'll buy you a new parachute.
Randy Rhodes, Sunday on the road to Dixie, and tonight, Stepping Stones Through History. Be there or be square.
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, Randy Rhodes, Stepping Stones tonight, 7 p.m. on the Randy Rhodes Facebook channel. Make sure you watch history lessons and a whole lot more. Jen Woodruff, the homeschooling mom, is supposed to be there, so make sure you're there. Bring your notebook and take notes because there will be a test. Good morning to Robin Brunson. Robin Brunson, it is always a pleasure to have you watch. We're working on some broadcasts that maybe we can talk to those nice people at Fat Cup Coffee Company about doing something with us. So, Robin, if you have a chance, watch Boogie with the Bull Thursday Night Live. We have a special guest, Robert Angel Little, that Jen Woodruff and the panel will be interviewing, and you will learn a lot from a gentleman who started in Romania and is now a United States citizen. It has a very interesting a very interesting past. And I'm sure everyone will want to hear about. Tomorrow night, like I said, on Boogie with the Bull, Tuesday Night Live, just the usual broadcast. Jen Woodruff can't be with us because it is Juju's birthday, so they will be out. We're hoping that Jen and Juju join us near the end so that anybody who is on the panel can sing happy birthday to Juju and check in with Jen. Wednesday mornings, Boogie with the Bull morning caffeine, kind of like it was today. Anybody who wants to join is welcome to join us. If you like the broadcast, please share it wherever you can on Facebook. Let's see. On Friday mornings, Boogie with the Bull, Friday morning caffeine. Hopefully, Bill Muckler, host of the Bill Muckler Show, author of the 2020 books, and just an all-around great guy, retired Marine captain and an entrepreneur. You've heard it all. Will be with us, and we'll talk about Red Friday and other things that are of importance to Republicans these days. On a side note, a couple of funny things to read. I read from my friend Holly Ann here on Facebook, put up a post last night. I have reached the age I should be wrapped in bubble wrap. And my comments were that Joe Biden is well beyond that age where he should be wrapped in bubble wrap, because who falls upstairs when you're walking upstairs? I mean, I do every once in a while, but that's because I have trouble lifting my foot high sometimes, and that causes me to trip, and maybe that's what causes Joe Biden to trip. But in Joe Biden's case of not having to walk up a very high tilted staircase to get onto Air Force One, they created an opening lower with a staircase that does not rise as high and has less stairs, and he still manages to trip going up that. I personally think they should take the stairs out of the lower entrance and just make it a ramp that he walks up. If I was president of the United States, I would leave from inside an airport the same way that you walk through one of those jetties to get onto the plane. When I travel by air, I have the advantage of having mobility service. They roll me right out onto that jetty, and if they could, they would roll me right down to my seat, which makes it a lot easier. But I would just get on that way, and do it that way. Or I'd say my goodbyes on the ground, and I'd have 27 Secret Service guys walking behind me with the front one just holding me up and making sure I got on. But or I'd claim executive privilege being president of the United States, and I would just make everybody come to me. But anyway, and then I'm going to end the broadcast today with one that is kind of funny, kind of mean, kind of rude. I don't really know, but I get really tired of all these people who post in the Facebook news feed that I'm going to ban you or ban this, ban that. I'm going to leave Facebook. I'm so tired of the way it is, blah, 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 blah. If you post on Facebook that you're going to start blocking people, I want you to know I'm going to do whatever it takes to get you to block me right then and there, or just work hard so that I get you to block me. Because if you have blocked me on Facebook, it means that I don't have to worry about you on Facebook anymore. And you're not of any interest to me. If you can't see me on Facebook, then that's your fault, not mine. We enjoy doing what we do. We're not the best at it, but we enjoy doing it anyway. Boogie with the Bull morning caffeine, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 a.m. until whenever it ends. Usually by 11:30 it is done. Tuesday Night Live and Thursday Night Live, 7 p.m. Usually done by 8:30 p.m. and a rare Saturday morning boogie with the bull. Matter of fact, it's not going to be so rare over the next 4 weeks or so because it will be on every Saturday morning, except for April 6th. We'll look at the calendar very quickly. If April 6th is, wait a minute, that's wrong. Go this way. April 6th is a Saturday, so there will not be a rare Saturday morning boogie with the bull on April 6th because I have plans to be at a craft fair with my wife Donna because Angela, her partner on that, will be out of town. So I will be there. So come out. I will give you more information about it later if you're in the Jacksonville area, Middleburg area. Actually, it's in Middleburg in Fleming Island. So if you're in the area, you can stop by and support our favorite crochet person, my wife Donna. There'll be some stuff by Angela that Angela has made there as well. But anyway, that's on April 6th. We'll give you more information on that. But like I said, if you're going to block people on Facebook, I'm just going to work hard to make you block me because I just don't want to hear about it anymore. Just like if you post, I'm so fed up with Facebook, I'm going to leave Facebook, blah, 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 blah. I will tell you to block me right then and there because if you don't, I'm going to block you because I just don't want to hear it anymore. I've been here for 15 years on Facebook. They've treated me the same for about 14 of them, and it's just not going to get any better, okay? If you don't like Facebook, stop using Facebook. There are so many other places you can go to. We are on Instagram, which most people that I talk to on Instagram don't even know that Instagram is a meta platform. Meta Platforms owns Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, Messenger, Oculus, and so many other things that, if you don't like Facebook, then stop using everything Meta. And if you do, go over to Twitter, which is now X. I still don't understand why they did that, but go over to X, follow at Boogie WT Bull. That's the Boogie with the Bull account over on X. And we're busting a gut to try to grow it as much as we can every day. Anyway, it's 11:15, and I said we would be done by 11:30, so we're going to end a little bit early. Randy Rhodes, like I said, Stepping Stones tonight with Jen Woodruff, 7 p.m. on the Randy Rhodes Facebook channel, and then tomorrow night at 7 p.m., a Tuesday Night Live on the Dave Globin Facebook channel and over on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel. Just our regular open discussions broadcast. Thursday night, Jen Woodruff will lead the panel to an interview with Robert Angel Little. And if you want to find out more information on Robert, you can Google him, and a whole lot of interesting information that we will be discussing with him on Thursday will come up so that you'll be able to come and be prepared. I'm sure that he will answer any question that you have, and we're looking forward to that. Like I said in the beginning, Nicky Young has said that he thinks he can do Tuesdays and Thursdays with us, so he will hopefully be with us tomorrow evening. Ichabod Palmer will be with us tomorrow, giving us all kinds of updates on what he is doing and things you should know as well. If anybody else wants to be on Tuesday Night Live, you have until about 6:30 tomorrow evening to let me know, or when the link is posted, you can always try to hit the link, and if the panel agrees, we will bring you on. Anyway, this is the part of the broadcast where I tell you you've been watching Boogie with the Bull, Monday Morning Caffeine, a copyrighted presentation of the No Budget Broadcasting Company. We own it all. That's all I'm going to say. And we have a whole lot of fun doing it. So go off and enjoy the rest of your day. I don't know what we have planned. The dog and Delilah and the cat Lola were fed breakfast before, so I'm probably going to go eat something too to wash up a lot of the caffeine that is flowing around in my body. Anyway, Double B's for Mercury. This Boogie with the Bull Monday Morning Caffeine is going to come to an end. Hit that one, come right down and hit this one until